Hola. So this is just a random live. I figured I would do a live on my actual Facebook page personally. I figured I would do this live in the hopes, I guess, to reach more people. I am lit today. I don't know about anybody else, but I am seriously lit today. Like truth moving through my being, my mind, clarity, as we move ahead. Things that need to be accomplished, things that need to be done, and collecting those that are needed along the journey. So I am coming to you to, I guess it's just to ground down and tell you where I am. As I said, I am really fucking lit today, seeing truth consciousness clearer and clearer and clearer every day. We are in such a precarious time, and I truly believe that we are right now at the calm before the storm, if you can believe that. That we haven't even seen the depths of storm that is about to unfold, and that will be happening, and now is the time to prepare for that. So if you thought the original, and I'm going to go with plandemic, hit you hard, get ready. Get ready. The system is crashing. It knows it's crashing, and it's going to fight. It is going to fight to reclaim itself as a system and try to force people back into the corruption of it based off of fear. It's now. Now is the time that we need to get centered. Now is the time that we need to reach out, connect with our fellow tribe members, make sure that they're well, right? Now is the time to get very clear on those around us. Some of our tribal members think they're in the right place, and that's okay. You know, being a channel of assistance and holding space for them and offering them back to a place of center is very important right now. There are many that think that they're fighting the good fight, and they're actually feeding the system, and so that's scary. That's really, really scary. Some of the key factors that I see happening are those that use guilt and shaming tactics to get your attention. So guilt and shame are ways that the system, the corrupted system, actually fed off of us to begin with. They made us come from a place of fear and lack and thinking that we needed something outside of us to command our well-being and to, how can I say it? My mama used to say, police yourself, okay? Police yourself. And from where I come from, policing yourself is not just a third dimensional reality. It is a higher dimensional reality. Like, if God is watching you every single moment of the day, that is you policing yourself. Are you aware of that? Would that behavior stand true in the face of the Creator? Could you do that with God in your presence? That, in my opinion, is policing yourself. And so I offer that to everyone. If you believe that what you are doing is in alignment, then allow yourself to sit, literally feeling as if you were sitting at the foot of the Creator, and present that to the Creator. How does the Creator respond? What is the vibration you feel back from that? You know, before I do every single video, I pray and I ask. And I ask to be a channel. I ask to hear that which is being communicated to me so that I may gift it to other people. Not that I'm coming from a place of knowing better. I'm in it with you. Not that I'm in a place of knowing better. Yet is there more information that we need at this moment in time? Because to believe that anything is true and long-lasting is an illusion. We're only being given layers. We're only being spoon-fed layers. One of my favorite clients, I refer to her as my elder, she is so scriptured. She knows the scripture very well. And, recently just said to me, she goes, there's a quote in the Bible that literally says, God is just giving us little baby spoonfuls for us to digest. If you think that what we're getting in these huge mounds of things, I'm telling you, they're baby spoonfuls. And so if we do not do the work in order to digest those little tiny spoonfuls of information, you're going to get lost. You're never going to be able to handle the full freaking plethora of truth that is going to be given to us. And when I tell you, when we sit at the table of God, there is an abundance amount of food, abundance amount of information. It is unbelievable with how much information is coming in for us at all times. And it's not just from this plane of existence. There are so many dimensional realities playing out, and not all of us are playing on the same timeline. There are those of us who are just waking up, that they're starting to awaken, that believe they're on the same timeline. They're not on the same timeline. That is okay. They will make it. However, those of us who are playing out and conscious of multitudes of dimensional realities playing out simultaneously, which is where I live, those that have worked with me know I just simply play in all dimensional realities. To be spoon-fed with whatever timeline you are on is the gift God is giving you. God is giving you the dosage to which you can handle. So eat up and digest. We are coming into the storm. The time is now. Do the work. Get centered. Yeah, thank you. Do the work and get centered. For if you are not centered, if I am not centered, we need to drop back in again. If we are not centered during this next level of chaos that's about to unfold in front of us, then we are part of that chaos, right? So, how? There are so many ways, right? There are so many ways of getting centered. Me personally, I require a lot of external pressure in order to really ground down. So I use things like sandbags. Mine are filled with rice. I use like weighted sandbags. I use, I force myself, it's not really force, it's, I place myself in different uncomfortable, we'll go with yogic poses, and I allow myself to feel the discomfort that's in my body, because my body is a tuning fork. Your body is a tuning fork. And if you're holding binding, twisting, pain, or just discomfort in your body, then your tuning fork is out of resonance, and that means that you're not going to be able to harmonize with all the beings around you. Okay, so I just recently, there was a woman, she put up a post. She's a holistic coach, and this put me on fire. You want to know what put me on fire? I thought I was on fire before I read this. But she said something about, like, if something triggers you, just scroll on by. I was like, are you effing kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? Yeah, sure, move on through, drive on through, but then sit with your trigger. Sit in that disharmony that comment or statement or revelation or realization, not even a revelation, you want to come to revelation, the discomfort that came up in what you just read, okay, or just heard, or When you come across those levels of discomfort, it is up to you to find harmony inside of you in order to no longer strum a discord of energy being given back out there. Because if you know tuning forks, if you know sound bowls, it has a resonance afterwards. So it's not just a resonance of what took place in that moment. I'm looking around me to see if one of my sounding bowls is around me so I can offer you the what I mean by that. But when you hear a tuning fork or a bowl or a crystal bowl, it continues on with a resonance, and that resonance is constantly happening, not just that's in you. It's happening in you. So if somebody strums a trigger within you, it's still playing. It doesn't go anywhere until you calm it. And so to believe that your trigger should just be like, rolled on over, no big deal, right? Just move on through. That is a disservice to your soul right there. And I made sure that woman knew in her post. I let her know that that's putting a Band-Aid on something. And her actual response to all of that, which if you'd like to see, it's on my timeline. Please go and read it. It's hysterical to me. She basically said something about that requires people to actually, it's not practical. She said it wasn't practical. It wasn't practical to sit and do the work. You let me know how that goes, okay? Not effing practical. You know what's not practical? Living in a lie. Living in an inauthentic world. That's not practical. Living in inauthenticity so that I may sell my soul even further for a disillusionment of the government to play their effing game. Do the work. You know, I get fired up. I get fired up. I am passionate about recovering each and every soul that was lost because this system became so corrupted and we bought into it. We hook, line, and sinker, right? Oh, the government will take care of us. They'll police us. They'll tell us right from wrong, like daddy energy, right? Daddy energy will tell us right from wrong. Lie. The more we bought into that, the more they grabbed hold of people and the more they started manipulating what was right and wrong. And they're showing you so clearly, it's in our faces right now, of how broken the system is. And then we have people who keep fighting. God, they keep fighting to recreate the system. They're actually thinking they're trying to break apart the system, but what they're doing is actually giving them ammunition to recreate a broken system. And then we have the medical who is like the mother representation, right? Like they're the ones who we're supposed to go to, who are going to support us when we're not well, right? Majority, 90% or more people that I have worked with, and I've worked with thousands and thousands of people on this health and wellness journey, and the majority of people I have worked with have gained nothing but data from the medical facilities. And half the time they don't even get the data they need, right? And what I mean by data is that these people take a blood test and they run you through and they give you some information, right? The majority of people, you'll get that. Okay, you can get that information, but you actually want to heal? They're not going to give you healing. They can't. Why would they heal you? That takes money out of their pocket. If they just put a Band-Aid on it, if they just make you believe that you're always in a place of almost on the edge of death, you know what I mean? Like, then they really have you. They have you. You need them. You don't need them. You don't need them. All the medicine we've ever needed is already here. Why would the Almighty Father, Creator, send you somewhere without the medicine? Do you believe the Father hates us that much? Are you still representing the Father with the brutality and the corruption of what we're seeing in our government? If you still represent the Almighty Father with that which is equivalent to what you're seeing in the government, then that is the problem. The Father would never send you anywhere where He didn't fully protect you and nourish you and heal you. To believe anything other than that is a disservice to your soul. Now is the time. Now is the time to wake up, to be sovereign. Right? What does sovereignty mean? Ooh. My fear of not knowing the actual definition just came through, so I apologize. So I will give you my best definition. Self-governing. Governing of your mind, governing of your spirit, governing of your body, governing of your well-being, and governing of your behavior. Can you stand behind how you treat yourself? Can you stand behind how you treat others? Can you stand behind what you proclaim to be? Can you stand behind your knowledge? Can you stand behind it? Right? I do my best to always provide a level of information to poke at people so that they will seek even more information. Knowledge is power. I do not claim to have all of the knowledge, nor would I ever. That's fucking crazy. That's insanity. However, to open one's eyes, to question everything. Don't try to just believe we know the answer. Sit. Even though you got a level of the answer, doesn't mean that's the full answer. Keep sitting in it. Sit in it longer. Be like, okay, that sounds like that resonance, that feeling, that which I just, discovered may be the answer, yet be open to the next level of answer that comes after that. Again, small baby doses of information and food, right? And nourishment is what the Creator is giving us. Because if you believe that that's your last morsel, then you're living in a disillusionment. There's always more. There's always more layers, right? Truth has layers and layers. There's no way that people could understand it from the multidimensional reality that we are living in. God gives it to us in the reality that you can currently understand. I guess the best example of that is that in my work, people will be like, how do you know that? How do you see that? How? And I went, I asked. I asked to know more, and then I allowed. And it took years and years and years. I would do the same thing over and over again, sitting in question with God while I did the work. Creator God, how do I serve these people best? How do I serve these people best? And so many times I felt like my work and my sessions would be so repetitive. But what was happening was more layers of information and more understanding would come through and more insight and more intuition would come through, that all of a sudden one day my understanding and perception of how the human body worked and how the human spirit lived within the confines of this human structure were unraveled and gifted to me because I allowed it to be. I didn't allow myself to believe that it was only one level of information being given to me. I allowed myself to know that there's more to that. Oh, there's got to be more to that. That just can't be the only truth. And don't get me wrong, there were times that I was like, woo, I've hit like eureka. I found the holy grail of information. I found a morsel of the holy grail of information, because once I allowed that full morsel to be digested, and sometimes again that would be months and years before it was, sometimes days, you know what I mean? It was all determined by what I allowed myself to digest and be open to further, okay? So small morsels of information keep coming into people. Digest it and be open to more, okay? This revolution is about your soul. The oppression is freeing our souls. It has nothing to do with all that other information and data being out there. It's just data. And it's data for those that are unawoken to start to be awoken. Okay? There are those of you who are watching this right now that are fully awoken to the level of consciousness that your team of beings is allowing you to be awoken to, and stay open, because more data keeps coming in. There are those who are not fully awoken that are kind of grinding into this old paradigm of thinking they know better, and they're fighting against the system. Stop fighting the system. Turn your back on the system, okay? Don't fight the system. Turn your back on the system and revolt against souls being burdened and left behind. You know what I mean? Not trying to gain the same limitations as everyone else. Stop fighting for the same limitations and fight for freedom. You know, I truly believe that if we separated the government from the medical system, this would be gone. This would be gone. Imagine taking 100% sovereignty over your well-being. 100% sovereignty over your well-being, right? The majority of people keep arguing insurance companies and the medical system because they keep investing in it. Stop investing in what is broken, right? You are not forced. You are not being forced. Even though they're trying to pretend like they're forcing you, you are not forced to buy into that medical system. You're not. You're choosing it. I chose almost 20 years ago now. We're going on 18 or more years ago now. No medical insurance. I have discovered everything through natural health. I have needed, I think, 2 visits in my 18 years have I gone to need something. Do the work. There are plenty of people who actually want to help cure illnesses and diseases within the body. Sitting in our uncomfortable, allowing the answers to come through. I often find that the answer comes through, and it doesn't necessarily elevate me. It drops me down. It makes me more centered. I am elevated thereafter because of living in the truth. But my knowledge doesn't make me feel greater than any other human being. It doesn't make me feel more powerful. In fact, it makes me feel weaker at times because I'm unsure of how to move forward with the data and knowledge that has been given to me. And then God always shows. God always shows me a way of how to integrate that information or provide it to other people, or find new liaisons that will support the mission that we are moving ahead with. The mission of recovering souls. Teaching souls how to be self-sustained, sovereign minds. In these coming days, it is important, it is beyond important, to take time alone, become centered, to create, expand, right? Play. Keep your spirit intact. And I also recommend all preparatory things for this pandemic to play out. It's a chess game. That's what they're doing. They're playing a chess game, making moves and seeing how people respond to the moves they're making, seeing if it creates more fear within you. Right? It's a chess game. They want to create fear. They want to make moves so that you jump on some bandwagon. Become still. Claim your spirit. And plan. Be prepared. Because the next wave of whatever pandemic BS that they have is happening. You have time, but only so much. I love you. I will be doing videos on my channels. I have a YouTube channel and as well as my The House of Kai, teaching people wellness, how to heal the pain, discomfort, limitations in your body. As I mentioned before, your body is a tuning fork, and if there is pain and resistance and struggle inside of your physical form, then you are vibrating that outside of you, right? That phrase of being part of the problem, right? So learning where your vibrational limitations are, because you require to be centered as we move forward. There is going to be way too much chaos happening outside of us, right? And if the sound vibration coming off of these other people are triggering you, then it is far too easy to become part of the problem, right? It's like taking a level of poison and drinking it in. It's okay to drink the poison in as long as you learn how to get it out of you as well. And so I have taught people how to do this for years. You want to know how to get the poison out of your body? It's actually fairly easy. You just have to do the work. You have to show up for it. You have to learn how to breathe into it and learn how to have a different conversation with it, to discover that which you are holding on to. So, I love you. I love you so effing much. We got this, tribe. We got this. Mwah! I love you. I love you. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Peace out, y'all.